Welcome to the Consciously Awakened Leader-preneur, discovering new levels of spiritually aligned entrepreneurship as a conscious leader in the new world. I am the AliNICOLE Wow, and joining me is Brenda Jacobson from awakeningconsciously.com. And together we are here to provide a unique, very unique experience for emerging conscious leaderpreneurs, those who are evolutionary and they're on the leading edge and they really feel called to serve at a higher level in this new world. And this is an exciting um, conversation we're going to be having, exciting opportunities that we have to share because this is really about being in this higher conscious world and being a higher conscious leader, um, as you are continuing on your journey. So, Brenda, I'm excited for this experience and so glad that we are once again collaborating together.
Yes, it's always a pleasure. Love the conversations. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. The conversations are so rich, and I just want to actually restate the title and the direction that we're going to go. Today is because this is important. I feel so great about this because there are so many people who are desiring to be beyond where they are because they know there's so much more, and so being a consciously awakened leaderpreneur and discovering the new levels of spirituality as a spiritually aligned entrepreneur with this higher conscious perspective as a leader in the new world is vital. And I know that you would definitely agree with this, Brenda. But before I get into sort of sharing some of the best ways to discover these new levels of this spiritual alignment for entrepreneurs, I would really love to hear, uh, you know, just your thoughts, around the aspect of what it really means to be a higher conscious leader in the new world. And you can also share why it's important for leaderpreneurs to actually awaken to this realization.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, I spent 25 years in the C-suite, in the old system. Even aware back then that it had to change, and I'm so thrilled to see that the energy has caught up with that, and we have
Mm.
this beautiful opportunity to evolve into something
Mm-hmm.
new. But raising the consciousness does not mean letting go of everything that we have learned in the past. It really is
Right.
taking that I was going to say nugget, but it's more than a nugget, that huge, vast ball of wisdom
Mm.
that has been created by all of those leaders of the past, all of their education, their experience. That is priceless
Mm-hmm.
information. It's just the context around it no longer exists. So being able to
Right.
take that wisdom and consciously apply it to
Mm-hmm.
the new format that is evolving in our world is how
Yes.
we're going to really raise the consciousness level of not just leaders and entrepreneurs, but parents and educators and
Mm-hmm.
bureaucrats, and everybody on the planet will be the consciousness level will be increased.
Oh, definitely. Everyone, like you said, will benefit. And it's interesting that you brought up even the context of parents. And that's so important because parents are leaders. And
Yeah.
you've heard me mention this in other trainings that we've done, conversational trainings that we've done, is that um, we're all in the business of something. And if we're
Mhm.
parents, we're in the business of raising our, children and our
Yeah.
family and providing and different things. Everyone's always leading. So technically, in any level, almost everyone is a leaderpreneur. And it is important to have this awareness, around this because often we can put it in the context for sure of, okay, a role in leadership and business and career. But, we are in the business and the career of becoming the best versions of ourselves. and being able to show up in this new world effectively, because we have to realize that there is a new world that has emerged, and some are still very much asleep to that. But that's why when we can be awakened to the leaderpreneurial aspect from a conscious, perspective, then those who are in the entrepreneurial arena and leaders in that way can have a spiritual connection and alignment to the higher wisdom, so that they actually know how to be and show up and facilitate this new world experience, and not regurgitate the old. um,
No
and so,
recycling.
yeah, no recycling. It was time out for that. We're done with being on loop. And
Yeah.
because if you're consciously awake, then you won't be on loop, because you'll be just going from each level of consciousness to another level of consciousness, and awakening continuously, in that experience. So I want to share real quickly, some of the best ways to discover new levels of being a spiritually aligned entrepreneur. And this really does start with, Brenda, committing to becoming a higher conscious thought leader, and taking thought beyond where it has been in terms of a person's understanding and perspective, so that they can be able to um, be aligned, but also stay in tune with the evolutionary impulses that keep them relevant and up to speed with the rapid changing world. And so this involves a continuation of self-discovery, self-awareness, and also this leaderpreneurial evolution, because this is what's taking place when leaders merge those two, the combination of leadership and entrepreneur. It becomes a metamorphosis to produce this evolution, and that evolution will reveal to those leaderpreneurs at each phase of the journey um, what they need to be doing. You know how you heard the saying, the what is it, the when, what, and how, or the what, when, and how. So
Yeah.
it gives you kind of that context for what you need to do to be shifting and to start leveling up, to make changes within your own life and mission, and then ultimately the business, or just whatever context it is. And so those are kind of just some simple ways, and it may be easier said than done, but raising the awareness, so that there is the awakeness to this, is that you got to be committed here. If you are
Yeah.
not all in to understand, listen, there, a new world is here, a new marketplace is here, and you are going to have to come into the truth of who you are as this new formatted individual and way of being. And that's what being consciously awakened, in a sense, in this leaderpreneurial way, is what's going to help to expand the ones who are being influential, so that they can show others how to, lead and govern their lives effectively, according to sort of this new premise that's being set. So before I share opportunities, I'd love to hear your thoughts around that as well.
Yeah. What I would jump to mind immediately, and you kind of brushed past it in your talk, is that this isn't a once and done thing. The world is continually evolving,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's picked up speed. It's, the
Yes, that's
acceleration is
right.
here, and it is evolving and changing continually on us. So developing these skills, not just
Mm-hmm.
developing the skills, but making them habits, making it a
Yes.
habit of being conscious, being aware, being emotionally intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
making it so that, a habit is something that you don't have to consciously think about. It just
Right.
happens. And that's what we have to do, is get these skills to a level where they just become habits for people. And it's not an
Mm-hmm.
effort for them to keep up with the next level and the next level and the next level, because
Right.
coming at increasing speed with us, increasing the acceleration of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Right.
so important at this level that people learn these, that the people start on this journey now, because the speed is it's going
It's
to get
going to
away on them.
increase. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It already exponentially is continuing, in a rapid way.
Yep.
And things are just changing really moment to moment.
Yeah.
And that's why this, not just this conversation, but what we have developed for others too, is so important. It's vital
Yes.
because, is again, these evolutionary impulses continue to um, be broadcasted in a sense. Leaders are going to have to be in tune. They're going to have to be in touch with the greater part of themselves, and as you say, developing um, these different levels of the skills. And really, this is about embodiment, because when something is embodied and it's a law of hygiene for you, it is a natural state of beingness. And like you said, you don't have to,
Yeah.
whether we call them, habits or
Right.
best
Embodiment.
practices or yeah, states of beingness, is that when it just is a natural part of you, and that's what's going, making it a part of your hygiene, in a sense, is that you just don't have to think about it. That probably is one of the things that can seem a little bit on autopilot in a sense, but you still want to govern that too, so that you
Yeah.
know how to shift it and be able to level up at each new juncture of the journey. And so, on that note, Brenda, should I go ahead and share about the opportunity that we have for others to
Yeah,
be able to take this
absolutely.
journey? Okay.
I'm excited about
So, yes, it is exciting. So we have the consciously awakened leaderpreneur experience. And this experience is facilitated in a private membership Facebook community. And this is going to be where Brenda and I will help you to navigate this journey of new awakening. It is, because it really is a new awakening, in order to discover your true alignment in every new phase as a leaderpreneur. Because as we discussed, it's not just really a one and done scenario. It is the continuation, and so we want to be able to provide a sacred space for that continuum to expand. And so, to be a part of this experience, we are going to require 4 journal style publications and some workbook formats that are available on Amazon. Um, but we'll have actually links below in the description where you can learn more about it, those. And what we've done is we have waived the membership fee as a special gift to those who have listened to this conversation that we've been having. And so I want to share about the required publications, and then just give a little more context in terms of how you can learn more below about some of the other opportunities that we have for you. So the required publications, and I'm going to share the first 2 there by Brenda. And Awakening Consciously is Ancient Wisdom for the New World. So it's going to be important. We're talking about being awake and consciously being awake, and understanding what the new world is about, but also leveraging some of the ancient wisdom and bringing it into new relevance. So her story is within there, and she's just got a lot of rich golden nuggets to help your total well-being to be prepared for this new experience. The second one is Embrace Your Accelerated Awakening, and moving beyond safety to flow into higher contributions in the new world. And this is very important because we talked about the rapidness and the expansion that is continuing. And so you want to be able to stay on the accelerated edge of your awakening and continue to let each phase of the awakening give birth to a new phase of the awakening. So you want to embrace the acceleration as you embody this newer experience. And then 2 publications of mine that will support more of the leaderpreneurial aspect. And one is Becoming a Consciously Aligned Leader. It's an emerging conscious leader mini handbook for aligning with their next levels of success. And then Becoming a Conscious Business Game Changer. It's a mini handbook guide of simple concepts for strategically changing the rules in next level business frameworks. So you'll be able to find the information for the publications, also the private Facebook community in the description below. There's also going to be more information about Brenda and I, and also an opportunity for you to learn about the Awakened, Aligned, and Ascendant Leader-preneur Experience Intensive that we're also going to be providing as well. So you'll find that information in the description. So Brenda, I would turn it over to you for any final words or thoughts and conclusions that you have. And I'm just glad that we're collaborating together again for such a rich and much needed experience for leaderpreneurs.
Absolutely. And I'm like I said, the blend between your wisdom and my wisdom is, it just expands it exponentially for the audience. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be here offering it with you. I think this is so vitally important for not just leaders in the way that we've come to think of leaders, but as you pointed out, for parents as leaders, and coaches as leaders. Like, athletic coaches are leaders. Business coaches are leaders. Leaders are leaders. This is just so vitally important for anybody that has got any kind of influence over another being on this planet. This is important information for them to develop. And the time is now, like, as we both said, the energy is accelerating, and it's, like, you can jump onto a train when it's just starting out of the station and it's pretty easy. And when it's whipping by at 100 miles an hour, it's a little harder.
Yeah, good luck.
And right now we're leaving the station, and lots of time for people to jump on board. As the energy starts to accelerate, it could get away on us. So really encourage people to join us as soon as possible and take advantage of all of this wisdom.